Colorado has helped him. And certainly, I think when you think about the plays that he made down the field, we talk about accuracy with him. That was the thing about he's so accurate. He can be a surgeon at
game. Most of what Shedeur Sanders was asked to do was throw the football on easy completions. So I think this was a solid overall debut for Shedeur Sanders. I do not have any different bottom line feelings about the Browns quarterback.
And I'm not talking about Dylan. I think it's Shedeur. Shedeur is the one that, like I say, looks like a successful NFL starting quarterback with more time and more experience coming his way.
Shedeur Sanders finally delivered a big-time start, and Mel Kiper came in with a strong take. No filters, no soft words, just the straight truth about what this performance really showed. Kiper didn't hype it. He didn't water it down. He broke it down in a way that hits differently and sets the tone for what comes next. Mel Kiper made it clear that Shedeur Sanders is just special. And who's going to argue that? When Kiper said Shedeur can be a surgeon with the football, he meant it. You don't hear that kind of praise unless a quarterback is showing real next-level talent. Shedeur's throws down the field, the way he reads the defense, and the calm he keeps in pressure moments. It just proves the fact that this is a quarterback built for the NFL. He's doing things that veteran quarterbacks struggle with, and he's doing them with confidence. Anyone watching can see he has the traits that coaches dream of: timing, touch, control, and a steady mind. You can polish a player, you can build a system, but you can't teach the natural accuracy Shedeur has. That's what Kiper sees. That's what fans see. And that's what the Browns should value above everything. But the real issue here isn't Shedeur's talent. It's the environment he's being put in. Stefanski has a quarterback who already looks like a future NFL starter, yet he keeps slowing his growth with messy decisions and stubborn coaching. And of course, who's going to not remember the controversies he deliberately made? Instead of building around Shedeur's accuracy and poise, Stefanski keeps forcing him into tight, predictable, and low-reward situations. It's like giving a surgeon a dull knife and then blaming him for the result. If a player like Shedeur is showing this much sharpness so early, a good coach adjusts to him, not the other way around. And that's why Kiper's comments hit harder than people think. When he said Shedeur already looks like a successful NFL starting quarterback with more time and experience, that was more than praise, it was a warning. It means the talent is there, the ceiling is real, but the coaching has to keep up or should be changed as early as possible. Stefanski's job is to guide a player like Shedeur, not drag him into the same slow, flat system that has already held back other quarterbacks. Shedeur is proving himself every week, especially after this Sunday's game, shining even when the play calling around him goes nowhere. Kiper sees it, fans see it, and front offices will see it too. If the Browns want Shedeur to reach his full level, the coaching needs to rise, or the coaching needs to change.
You can't beat him if you can't block him. But in terms of Shedeur, the operations for a young quarterback, when you see quarterbacks running up, clapping, and then the time's ticking down, and you got to delay a game, or you got to take a timeout, or you end up the game with one timeout left or no timeouts left because the operations weren't good. And he looks a little confused out there. He looks like a deer in headlights. I never saw that. I didn't see it against Baltimore when he was getting hit the whole second half. So I think the poise, the confidence by playing in a lot of games in college, both at Jackson State and
Kiper pointed out something that a lot of people ignore. The problems we keep seeing on the field are not coming from Shedeur. They're coming from the operations around him. When you have a young quarterback running to the line, clapping for the snap, watching the play clock drain, and then being forced to burn timeouts or take delay of game penalties, that has nothing to do with talent. That is a coaching and communication problem. Kiper made it clear that Shedeur himself is not the one confused. The system around him is shaky. He said Shedeur never looked like a deer in headlights, not even against Baltimore when he was getting hit non-stop. That right there says everything. If a quarterback can stay calm under pressure, stay focused while the play breaks down, and keep delivering even while the pocket collapses, that means the player is strong. What's weak is the structure around him. Kiper sees Shedeur's poise as something rare for his age, something built from real experience, real games, and real hits taken in college. And that poise is now carrying him in the NFL, even while the coaching staff fails to give him clean, steady support. What Kiper highlighted is the part people don't want to talk about, Shedeur is already doing his job better than the system is doing its job for him. When the operations fall apart, late snaps, poor communication, disorganized tempo, wasted timeouts, fans blame the quarterback. But Kiper is saying clearly that this isn't on Shedeur. This is on the people responsible for getting the play in on time, setting the pace, and helping the quarterback succeed. And yet, even with all that chaos, Shedeur still shows calm eyes, strong body language, and total control under pressure. That comes from all those games he played at Jackson State and Colorado. It built him into a quarterback who doesn't panic, doesn't crumble, and doesn't lose his mind when everything around him gets messy. So when Mel says Shedeur's poise and confidence stand out, he's reminding everyone that the kid has already proven he can handle the moment. Now it's up to the coaching staff to match that level, because Shedeur is outgrowing the excuses.
Just give him a fortress in front of him, give him some time. He can be a surgeon. And some of the throws he made, and he only had the one sack where he almost got it back to the line of scrimmage. It wasn't an 8, 9, 10-yard loss. It was, 2 yards, and he almost got it back to the line of scrimmage. He got the ball out. He showed touch. When he had to let it rip, he did. He had the one bad throw when the linebacker sunk in the hook zone, and he picked it off. Okay, that happens. Baker had a bad pick against the Bills. It turned that game a couple weeks ago.
Shedeur shows the kind of calm and skill that you can't fake. He moves through pressure without panicking, gets the ball out quick, and puts the ball where only his guy can catch it. When he has time, his throws are surgical short, on target, and with the right touch to fit tight windows. His instincts and feel for timing stand out, and those things come from playing a lot of real games, taking hits, and learning to finish plays under stress. Rookie mistakes happen, sure, but they read like normal growing pains, not a sign that the kid can't play at this level. Give him protection and a clean plan, and he becomes a different player, one who wins you yards and keeps drives alive instead of surrendering them. The real problem is the way the team is run around him. Stefanski keeps using the same slow, cluttered approach that hides the quarterback instead of helping him. Plays come in late, the tempo gets messy, and the scheme too often forces Shedeur into low-percentage snaps instead of letting him use his quick read and accuracy. That's not development, that's a cheap ceiling. Coaches should adapt to the player, not make the player fit a stale system. If the staff wants Shedeur to grow into the starter everyone talks about, they need to clean up the operations, protect him better, and call plays that play to his strengths. When will Stefanski stop forcing the old script and start building around the clear talent in front of him? When will the coaching match the QB's level so the kid can truly show what he can do?
It all happens. They're going to learn from mistakes. In order to get better, you got to make mistakes. And you learn from those mistakes. And he'll keep making them. And he's going to have uneven performances. He'll have some good, bad, and ugly. That's just the nature of being a rookie quarterback in this league who never played with the ones, right? But I think for Shedeur, I feel good because everything I see with him, he looked like an NFL starting quarterback. And I think that's the most important thing you can say about a rookie.
What stands out with Shedeur is how quickly he processes the game for someone at his stage. Most young quarterbacks spend their first year just trying to survive the speed of the league. But Shedeur is already showing control in small but meaningful ways, adjusting protections, resetting his feet under pressure, and staying calm when the pocket shifts. That kind of growth usually takes time, but he's speeding through it because his base fundamentals are solid. A rookie who already carries himself with starting quarterback habits is ahead of schedule. He reads leverage, trusts his arm, and doesn't fall apart after a mistake. That is what separates long-term starters from short-term fill-ins. The natural ups and downs don't change the bigger picture that Shedeur has the traits coaches spend years trying to build. He rebounds fast after bad moments, he keeps his mechanics steady, and he doesn't let defensive pressure shake his rhythm. That level of emotional control is rare for a rookie, and even rarer for one thrown into a rough situation. When you see someone handle the mental side this early, the poise, the confidence, the discipline, it tells you he has the foundation to last in this league. The talent is already there. The mindset is already there. Now it's about giving him the structure and support that match the promise he's showing.
That's all you can do as a young quarterback, win the game. And he won this game. Something hasn't been happening, the screen said. So we'll move on. Like I said, there's going to be uneven performances. We'll see how they handle Dylan Gabriel coming back from the concussion, how they work that out the rest of the year. And to the point about these young quarterbacks, is always the next best thing. What they have to see internally is, and I'm not talking about Dylan, I think it's Shedeur. Shedeur is the one that, like I say, looks like a successful NFL starting quarterback with more time and more experience coming his way.
Shedeur played the way a real starter plays. He walked into a tough spot, handled pressure, made smart choices, and brought home a win, something the team hasn't been getting enough of. That alone separates him from Gabriel, who still struggles to control a game from start to finish. Gabriel's decisions swing all over the place. His rhythm disappears under pressure, and his confidence drops the moment things get shaky. How long can a team wait for someone who keeps giving them the same problems? How do you build trust in a quarterback who collapses the moment the plan breaks? Shedeur, on the other hand, stays calm, stays locked in, and keeps the offense moving even when everything around him gets messy. That steadiness matters more than one perfect throw or one highlight play. It's the sign of someone built for the long run. And that's why the comparison isn't even close. Shedeur already shows the habits of a real NFL-level starter. Control, accuracy, timing, and the ability to bounce back fast. Gabriel still looks like a placeholder, someone the coaches try to work around instead of someone they build around. Why invest snaps into a quarterback who still can't command the field the way a starter should? Why slow down the offense for someone who hasn't grown in the areas that matter most? With Shedeur, the ceiling is clear and high. With Gabriel, the ceiling feels low and already closing in. Shedeur gives the team a future. Gabriel gives them more questions than answers. And when you're choosing who leads your offense, you pick the guy who looks like he belongs to football, not the one who keeps proving he doesn't. In the end, Shedeur is showing everything you want in a true future NFL starter, and Mel Kiper's words only shine a bigger light on that reality. The talent is real, the growth is real, and the gap between him and Gabriel is only getting clearer. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to subscribe and like for more updates. Also, don't forget to tell me, do you agree with what Mel Kiper said about Shedeur?